the conversation with regard to Edgar Chagalungu's death and burial still continues in the nation, and people are still weighing in as much as it has dwindled down. It's no longer making the news headlines as it used to be prior to the fracas that happened. Should have been now. Is it 4 months ago, if not 5 months, going to that battle that has been ensued between the Zambian government and the Lungu family. And everything has been quiet, both from the Lungu family and the Zambian government. The last update that we got towards from Makebi Zulu, and he was simply communicating to say the out of court settlement that was likely to be come to a conclusion between the Zambian government and the Lungu family had stood. They're no longer talking of some sort. So meaning we just wait for the court verdict and the court decision that will happen. Any discussions that were happening prior to that have fallen short of what the Lungu family wanted. They couldn't come to an agreement pretty much. So they are no longer having those conversations. So we wait for the court decision. And then if it works out against the Lungu family, most likely they will upgrade until they reach to be the Constitutional Court of South Africa. But as things stand, it's still in the High Court. The court is yet to decide what happens with that court proceeding. But one person that has weighed in is Mlenga Kapwepwe. If you know Mlenga Kapwepwe, she is the daughter of, should be a former vice president of Zambia at some point during Kenneth Kaunda's reign. But then again, they fell apart between Kenneth Kaunda and also Kapwepwe. And when by the time that Kapwepwe was dying, Kaunda's family did not. Simon Mulenga's family did not want Kaunda to attend the funeral, and as a result of that, Kaunda did attend the funeral, but under the conditions that were set by the family. So she's now advising President Hakainde Hichilema to simply follow the decision that has been made by Edgar Lungu's family. So according to what Mlenga is saying, Mlenga counsels Hakainde Hichilema on Edgar Lungu's burial. So respecting the wishes of the late 60th President Edgar Lungu's is the simplest decision President Hakainde Hichilema can make. Mlenga Kapwepwe, daughter of the late former Vice President Simon Mwasaka Pwepwe, the man that is named after the airport in Ndola, has said Kapwepwe said her father died while being persecuted by the late Kenneth Kaunda, and as a result of that, he opted to be buried in his home village, and pretty much those wishes were respected by Kenneth Kaunda. And he did attend the funeral, but pretty much it was around the prescription that was set by the family. So, Hakainde Hichilema can easily do the same. As they've said, they are willing to have Edgar Chagalungu buried in Zambia. They just don't want Hakainde Hichilema near that funeral proceeding. So if he's able to decide on that, then the body will come in and the court case will be shut down. But otherwise, that's the simplest decision, and everything is in the court of Hakainde Hichilema making that decision since he's the sitting head of state. So that's advice coming from Mlenga Kapwepwe towards Hakainde Hichilema. In other news, High Court orders Fimba Upoke Kada to pay damages to Finlay for defamation. So if you know that guy that propagated that phrase to say Fimba Upoke, who supports the UPND, he had made some defamatory statements against Finlay, and he was sued. And the court case should have been 6 months or less, and the verdict has come through, so the damages that is likely to pay. So the Osaka High Court has ordered the UPND cadre, Frank Zimba, creator of the Facebook page of Fimba Upoke Dig, to pay damages to businessman Henry Finlay for defamation after accused Finlay of engaging in drug trafficking alongside the late President Edgar Chagwa. So the guy had alleged to say Finlay was facilitating Edgar Chagwa drug trafficking allegations, and he took him to court. This follows the default judgment delivered by Judge Salesani after Zimba failed to enter appearance or file defense in response to Finley's lawsuit. According to the judgment, Finley was granted a final judgment in default, compelling Zimba to issue a public apology, retract a defamatory statement from his social media platforms, and declare them false. Uh, the court also granted injunction restraining Zimba or his agents from publishing similar statements in the future. So that's what has happened in court. What is John Sangwa says President Hichilema cannot resolve Zambia's challenges even if given his second term. So Movement for National Restoration founder John Sangwa says President Hakainde Hichilema can never transform the nation even if he was to be given a second term in office. Speaking when he featured on Friday edition of Let the People Talk program on Radio Phoenix FM, Sangwa emphasized that Zambians had lost trust in the head of state and the United Party for National Development (UPND) administration, alleging that the country has been divided. He has also accused Hichilema of not respecting the rule of law and the constitution, as evidenced in the proceedings with the amendments Bill 7. Meanwhile, Mr. Sangwa has described the constitutional reform process as flawed and accusing members of the technical committee and the constitutional reform of betraying the public by agreeing to serve on constituting team. He has also alleged that the amendment process being designed to give the ruling UPND an electoral advantage in 2026 called for a more inclusive and extended consultation period to ensure a broad public participation. So that's his view. He says even if you give Hakainde a second term of office, he cannot change anything. He has no ability. That's according to John Sangwa there. And then muntu wamachabe ngati ali law abiding mukamkuisa abwera ankhala unruly simungamkwanise a case of Tanzania. So simply Sean Tembo is simply saying a human being is only as good when you take them well, otherwise they will revolt as for the situation in Tanzania. So people are generally peaceful. They like to adhere to law and rule and regulations. They like to comply and obey. But when unwise leaders think they can, when people complain, they can force their rules on them that are not legal. Then you see a revolt that happens in Tanzania. So simply saying, Chontembo weighing in with the situation in Tanzania, as you may be aware, many opponents that you see on screen there were barred by the lady who was president in Tanzania, and as a result of that, there were protests after the elections. But since then, she's gone through. And then according to Chifetari says President Hassan has done it by winning 97% of 97.66 actually percent of the vote. Hakainde Hichilema will win with such a wide margin. So simply saying, according to Chifetari, what has happened in Tanzania, that percentage is like what's going to happen with Zambia as Hakainde Hichilema heads into the 2026 general elections. While the PF agrees to hold campaigns as they wait for direction from. So Patriotic Front is holding its Central Committee meeting on Sunday yesterday to resolve issues that surrounding the upcoming General Conference decision upon the race to open the race to beyond the 9 candidates that had paid the 200,000 nomination fees. And then also busy inciting Hakainde Hichilema against me. That's Chief Tayari. Busy inciting Hakainde Hichilema against me so that you can prove a point that he does not forgive. You are dumb. You think he doesn't know that your propaganda, that's your, that he does not know of your propaganda. I am not going to jail. I am not a criminal like Malanji. Then come back to the country. This is the logic that people laugh at Chief Tayari. He thinks he's very intelligent enough that people cannot see through what he's trying to propagate. He's saying, yeah, Hakainde Hichilema cannot jail him because he does not forgive. Then why did he run away from the country? Come back and face the law, and then let's see how that plays out. Anyway, according to the mass newspaper, NRC's voters card scam alert, Bemba chief accuses government of selective insurance. That's in the mass newspaper. Don't force Hichilema to stand next year. That's the Socialist Party. Let's in the news daily. Zambia Beta, Hakainde Hichilema, 4 years of hard work bearing positive results. That's in according to the Times of Zambia. Hakainde Hichilema has ears ready to listen. he's been meeting different people, says Hamasaka. So there's that conversation that is so to say the president only follows his way. If it's not his way, there's no way. As alleged by the opposition, and pretty much Hamasaka was responding to say Hakainde Hichilema is listening. Actually, he's been hosting a number of people in State House and he's listening to them. That's the rebuttal coming from State House, and that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.